is because trauma-informed schools are more prevalent than ever. Social and emotional learning is more prevalent than ever. And all of these trainings come down to one basic strategy or skill that's important, and that is getting to know your children and creating relationships with them. So my qualifications for talking about this are 27 years in education with a doctorate in educational leadership. I've been nominated for Teacher of the Year 14 times in 27 years. And the reason for that is because of my relationships with students. I believe it's my greatest skill. It's what I bring to the profession. I am still in touch with several students and families after many, many years. And I've rarely had classroom management issues. Even with some really tough children, I've had a lot of success with working with them. So one of the first things you have to do is have a mindset that allows you to connect with children. Seeing them as little people, seeing them as human beings who will one day contribute to the world and even one day take care of you in some way. So seeing that in them as they are young is important. Also, see children as extraordinary. See what is extraordinary about them. From day one in the classroom, look into every set of eyes and feel the awe of that moment. Just say to yourself, wow, I have the opportunity to teach this child every day. And it's my honor and it's my privilege because this is a great person. See your students as beings who are able to teach you as much as you are going to teach them. So yes, we know some facts. We know the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, and we have our curriculum manuals, and we will certainly stretch the children that we teach, but they too will teach us. And if you go into the experience with that mindset, they will feel that. Your little people will feel that and know that you respect them. I often tell them that I respect them. And that sets a tone that just, it's hard to put in words because it's just a relationship that is built, that you will know that you have their respect because they have your respect. And lastly, I say see your students as divinely placed in your life. And what I mean by that is it's more of a spiritual understanding. You know, you see it as a blessing and you can tell them so. Often in the morning I will say, I am thankful to be your teacher. And those students are placed in your life to teach you the lessons you need to learn at this point in your life. And going into the classroom each day, again, with that understanding, just sets a tone for the culture of your environment. So, again, I like to begin every morning with a focus circle. You can call it a unity circle. But in my focus circle, we stand, we stretch, we do some movements, and then we say an affirmation together. And one of the affirmations that I really enjoy is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is the gift, that is why we call it the present. And then we work to be present with one another for the entire day. We give each other high fives, already celebrating the victory of the day. And I tell them, you're going to leave here today knowing more than you came in. So that in itself is a celebration. So then we just high five because we're celebrating what we know is going to occur. And that gets them hyped. That gets them excited about the day. Checking in with your students is so very important. And this is where they get to share how they're feeling. And I like to do it every Monday, every Friday, and sometimes throughout the week if there's time. It can be time consuming. It will take at least a half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes. And most schedules do not allow for that, but it's important to make time for that a couple of times a week. And when I ask my students how they're feeling, I have them wave their hands. Wave them up high if you're feeling great. If you're in the middle, give me something around the chest type of wave. And if you're feeling low, then hang down low. And so it's bodily kinesthetic. They can really get into it. You can see who's feeling what way. And then you have them share out. You give them 30 seconds to a minute, and they may say, oh, my dog passed away over the weekend. Or they may say, we went to great adventure, so I'm feeling great. Or I didn't get enough sleep last night because my brother was making noise. But in those moments, you get to know, the whole class gets to know how everyone else is feeling. And those who want to share, share. And those who don't want to share, don't share. But it makes for great conversation all throughout the day because you know your people. And you share also. I know I always share something about what's going on in my life, so my students feel connected to me. They know who I am. I know who they are. We know how we feel, and we press forward together to meet the goal, which is academic success. One last strategy I'll share for today is fun names and attributes. So I always encourage my students through fun attributes. So if your name is Dana, I might call you Dynamic Dana. And if your name is Taylor, I may call you Triumphant Taylor. But it's always something that uplifts them. Exemplary Emily. And I try and come up with words that they're not familiar with so that I'm building their vocabulary. Everyone knows the word intelligent. You're so intelligent. So how can we take another word that means intelligent and expand their vocabulary and their knowledge of synonyms? I do that with their names and then also some of their characteristics. So instead of telling someone to stop talking, I may say, you're such a loquacious learner. And then they'll want to know what loquacious means. Well, it means you talk a lot. But it's a more fun way of saying that there's a lot of talking going on. And then I'm still calling you a learner. So it changes the tone of the conversation. It's not that you're a bad child who's so off task. Because the conversation most times I find is related in some way to something I'm teaching. It's just a sidebar conversation and we want to reel it back into the focus. So the person in your class who is constantly telling on other students, you may call them your news reporter. The person who's always observing what everyone else is doing, let them know that they are so observant, and maybe you call them your sociologist for the classroom. That student who takes so long to get the work done and you're like ready to move on, math is done, it's time for social studies, they're still on problem 3 with 17 to go. That is your meticulous student. Meticulous. A strong vocabulary word that means detail-oriented, right? So these few strategies really help build a sense of community in the classroom, a sense of family. I can't tell you how many times I've been called mom or mommy by students because they were really feeling the love from me. So I hope you enjoy these tips. I hope you find them helpful. Thank you for watching. Please click subscribe and share with your friends. There is my website there, and I hope to see you in the next video.